KCAA.
Welcome to News That Rocks now on NBC KCAA Radio, 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, where your story could be told. What's up, everybody? Welcome to News That Rocks right here on NBC KCAA Radio. Thank you. So today I have a special guest. She's very special because she did a couple of murals. Correct me, Eric, if I'm saying it right. Murals?
Sounds good to me, brother.
Paintings, you know what I mean? Paintings. Yeah. She did a couple of murals in San Bernardino on the bus stops. And, well, without further ado, this is Ashley.
Hey, how's it going?
It's been great, man. Long time no seen, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to start by asking you a few questions that I have already set up right here. And let's get started, man. Okay. So we're going to start. Ashley, for those who might not know you yet, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? A
little bit about me and my art. Yeah. So I am a local artist to the Redlands area. I paint in a contemporary pop art and very childlike style. I use a mixture of resin, I use glass, acrylic, you name it. If I can get my hands on a material, I'm probably going to make it into something. I've been painting now for about 6 years, I think, 6.
Wow.
And I originally started out as a musician, if you can believe it or not. I have a bachelor's degree in music, so I spent like 12 years playing a classical musical instrument, the viola. But by my senior year, I was really driven to break out of the box. There's a very strict discipline mode and structure within the classical music world, and it wasn't working out for me, and I really wanted to be able to express myself in a different way. And I took one painting class my senior year in college, and I haven't stopped being creative since then. Anything, whether it's performing arts, theater, music, acting, you name it, I've done it, except for dance. Can't dance.
It's like me, like sometimes they try to make me dance like a thorn or something, and I'll be like, when you want to dance like a thorn, and then you be all like, nah, but that's good, man. And another thing, what inspired you? You could mention a couple of your inspirations on this. You could also name a couple of artists. Maybe like when we mean artists, we don't mean like singers. We mean like people who draw and well, you see right here in the background right here. That's what we mean. But yeah, can you tell us a little bit what inspires you?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing behind my inspiration for doing art is mental health advocacy and my mental health in general. It started as a way to express myself and break out of my own mold, and being able to sit, focus, find time for myself, not worry about what's going on in the world, who's around me. That was like a really healing aspect of doing art, and that is the main inspiration behind it. It's amazing to be able to connect with other people within the community or even abroad who thank me for being so open and honest about mental health struggles and allowing somebody else to feel like they're seen and they're heard in these aspects, which I think they're really important because we're all struggling with something nowadays. There's not a perfect person out there, and you don't have to hide those things. There are people that'll listen. In terms of like people and actual artists that inspire like the look of my artwork, I would have to say Keith Haring and Peter Max are really, really big inspirations for my artwork. Bright, fun, poppy, colorful. I couldn't do anything less. I can't work in boring colors.
That's good. In my opinion, I like what you said. A lot of people suffer from mental illness. And I think this is good because it helps them. What is the correct word? It's like develop. Am I saying the correct word? Like develop themselves. Like it helps them without them trying to commit from doing other things that I can't say it on the radio, but from doing other things. and people will get it. What I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
like
It helps you kind of like unlock yourself, feel less alone,
There you go.
express yourself more. Because I know nowadays, I mean, we have so many options to connect with other people. We have social media like right at our fingertips, but it doesn't feel like actual connection anymore.
yeah.
And being able to go out and talk to people face to face and share your struggles, I think is so important. Because a lot of times nowadays, people would rather hide that. They'd rather act perfect and rather, not be seen as someone who has a mental health struggle, when in reality, most people do struggle with mental health. And I mean, even today, I was so nervous to come in. And I've spoken on podcasts before, I've been in front of a camera before, but you still have those nerves inside of you. And it's like, I know a lot of people sometimes look at me and they're like, oh, you're perfect, you're doing everything right. And it's like, nah, I'm screaming on the inside too.
That is correct. That is correct because it's like me. I was nervous. You saw me outside. I was a little. It's my first debut show right here on NBC KCAA radio, and I was a little nervous too. I was a little nervous, but then I was like, no, just be myself. Just be myself, and that's it.
Do your best. Show up. Give presents.
Yeah, and I really have to thank Mark and Eric, the engineer right here. I gotta thank them for giving me this opportunity to have a show right here as well.
I deny it, man. Come on.
And then so we have the art behind here, right?
Yes.
The art. What is the meaning of this of that?
Oh,
You know
the
what I
meaning of
mean?
the piece that,
Yeah.
for those of you that are physically watching, what I'll describe behind me is I have a work in progress art piece that I brought because I wanted to show something that wasn't completely finished. I mean, I have completely finished artworks, but to show something that's in progress, I know a lot of artists are kind of scared of like doing something like that. Like, this is not finished. And it's going to take me a while to finish it. But what you can see so far is I have everything mapped out. I have an outline. It is a very bright and colorful piece already, even though it's not finished. And a lot of my artwork takes on kind of like an 80s futuristic style. So I've got kind of like a magenta sun or moon, depending on your mood. I have these kind of like free-flowing form shapes that look like flowers. People have described them as being like biological looking in nature. And so it really depends on who's viewing it. And coming out of this shape or form is a head with an open mouth. And through that open mouth, you see a yellow stream of light. And if anything, this piece for me is kind of about speaking up, not holding back, not being quiet, really expressing yourself and not isolating yourself. So this light is kind of shining on this fog down below. It's kind of like you've got these like cloud-like forms that are going to be dissipated by the voice.
And for those of you, we know that this is a radio show, and some of you are not watching right now. But if you guys go to the KC,
They could go to kcaaradio.com and watch the live stream. And listeners, you're going to want to do that because this is an awesome piece of art. And then also it's later uploaded on YouTube later today, so they'll be able to watch that.
there you go. And so because we know it's a radio station, and we love what technology could do nowadays. We love it, man. We just love what technology could do nowadays. But anyways, the other question is, what challenges? This is a good one.
Oh boy.
What challenges have you faced? Like, you wanted to become an artist, but what challenges have you faced? Like, I don't know if
Kind of like, what have I gone through that has gotten me here?
Exactly,
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
I have definitely not had an easy life. I've kind of had to scrape the barrel and fight for what I have. I have lost a lot in my life, having a traumatic childhood. I've lost my home. When I was about 14 years old, my father and I became houseless for about 3.5 years. And so, during that time, me and my dad were separated. We weren't even together. So imagine like a 14-year-old girl who's basically emancipated, having to go to school, take care of herself. And at the same time, I was also involved in all of these programs. I got involved in art. I got involved in music and theater those things, I also took leadership roles within. And I did this all while I was houseless because I wanted community, I wanted people, and I didn't want to be alone during that time. But once we finally got a home, thanks to Section 8, which is a very important program, my father unfortunately passed away, and it was very, very sudden. I was only about 18 years old. I had just graduated high school and being suddenly thrown out into the world with pretty much no support. I had a little bit of support as he passed, and then everyone just kind of went poof and disappeared. So having to take on the mantle yourself as a young woman and take care of things. I had 3 jobs while I was working, or 3 jobs while I was in college, which really impeded getting a bachelor's degree in music. They don't like that. You don't have any time to really practice or study, but I still put my whole effort into it. And through a lot of the things I've experienced, whether it was like food insecurity, housing insecurity, truly feeling alone and not like I had any family, having to like build up a found family for myself, you learn resilience. And that resilience is an incredibly important part of being a person and a human. And it's necessary for anyone who's a creative, because you're going to have to be resilient if you want to be a creative and be successful as a creative.
This is actually something that these are the kind of stories that I like to hear, Eric. They're real. You know what I mean? They're real, and
yeah, very inspiring and
inspiring, man. Like, this is why it's nothing script here. Nothing's a script.
I don't know. I saw her reading off of something.
I know, yeah. I've got my autobiography.
I got my phone right here watching.
That was a chat GPT.
Yeah, we just keep it real right here. I think this is a good question, in my opinion. If a little girl comes to you, maybe a teenager, she wants to do art, she's inspired by you, she admires you, what will you advise her to do and not do?
I think the biggest thing I would tell her to do is make sure you are talking to and communicating with good people. There are a lot of people out there that will gatekeep certain things from you. There are a lot of people that don't want to work with you. They'll give you really bad advice, or they'll project their own insecurities and fears onto you. And that makes it way more difficult to be able to navigate the world of art. My thing, anytime any young artist or creative comes up to me and asks me, well, how are you doing this all? How do you do it? How do you even get your art out there? I try, no matter how scary it is, because it is absolutely terrifying to show something so vulnerable to other people. And have them receive it. And you don't know how they're going to receive it. People have so many different reactions to certain things. And so making sure you have that community behind you, make sure you talk to good people, listen to that advice, know when to not listen to that advice, and make small steps to show your work somewhere. I don't even care if it's like a little coffee shop. I don't care if it's like the smallest local gallery in your town. Or even vending on the sidewalk at an art night, sign up for these things, try as many things as possible, and learn through doing these things. It's going to teach you a lot. And don't be afraid to ask other artists, tell me how you did this, tell me what your story is. By sharing those kind of things, you can really take someone under your wing or propel them to do something more with their life.
When I'm glad you brought the art festival. When is your next? Do you have something coming for an art festival event or something? Even if it's in LA, it's okay to mention it.
Yeah, it's a little quiet on the Western Front right now, and that's okay. I have things in plan for 2026.
Okay.
I'm hoping to take up an artist residency in Los Angeles called the Secret Land Artist Residency. And they're an organization that helps young women and non-binary students feel comfortable, have a good space to practice their art, and get funding for those kind of things. So that's like a major thing that's on the horizon. And then I also work a lot with Los Serrano Gallery out of LA as well. And we usually do brew shows like 4 times a year. So I'm sure there's going to be one coming up in the fall, probably October, November. If you follow my art Instagram page, Art by Ashley Wright, I usually post when there's going to be an upcoming show.
What was that called? A brew show?
Yeah, brew show.
You got me at brew. What is that?
There you go.
They're probably my favorite shows to do, especially if you're someone who does cool, funky, fun art. And basically what happens is you go down to the brewery, it's taken over, by an artist gallery, and they show your art on the walls. You can grab a brewski with your friends. You can buy some art, and then network with those artists as well, because we usually show up and we're there to talk to other people. Super fun.
We roll into the next one? You and me roll into the next one?
You got to get out. Great.
You know for sure that I'm going.
I'll carpool with you.
No, but for real, like I'm really gonna go. Like she knows that I will attend. Like before, we did an interview one time on YouTube. It was not as successful as right now it is with the radio station. But she painted a mural on Baseline in McKinley.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 2023 or 2022?
Ooh, I believe it was 23, it was 22, and then I painted a second bus bench mural in 23.
Can you tell people a little bit about what you were doing at the and all the bus stops? You know, like your murals, your art that you're putting out there. Can you tell us a little about it?
So I found out through Omnitrans, which is the main bus transportation in San Bernardino, that they were they got a grant to produce art on bus benches. And what they would do is they'd put out a call for artists. Hey, anyone listening, you need to pay attention to these call for artists. They're super important. And you never know what kind of opportunity you're going to get from them. So, they posted, hey, we need some artists that will give you a stipend for painting these bus benches. Please submit a design. And if you get chosen, you get to go paint the bus benches. And I thought, when I first applied for it, I was like, my design isn't that great. I'm still a pretty brand new artist. I don't think this is going to get picked. Nope, I got picked. And being out there painting live in front of the community over there was one of the best experiences I ever had. It was so much fun. So many people were like, what is this white girl doing down here on Baseline? And I was like, I'm just making this colorful here. I hope you guys like it. And so everyone is excited to see it. I mean, you can't knock it. Everyone in that community was like, wow, I might come out and actually walk my dog now because this neighborhood's getting prettier.
Oh my gosh, he said it on air, bro.
I got a question. Have you? I do notice myself when they have artists bus murals on electric boxes or bus stops. It kind of cuts down on the graffiti around the area. And have you noticed? Did that do that on the areas where you busted the murals at the bus stops?
I'm not sure, depending, because it was on Baseline, and there was a little bodega shop right behind it that constantly gets graffiti, but it was interesting to see how many people came outside for once. Yeah. That was the biggest pull, was seeing how many people were like, oh, I can leave my home and look at something. Or just to be able to so many people would come and talk to me and thank me and be so interested in well, how'd you get this opportunity? Is there going to be more? Are you going to paint more of these? The excitement from the community was palpable. And I think over time, those kind of things will cut down on things like graffiti.
Right. Yeah. Because that's what I've noticed. I usually see when I'm there's electric boxes or other things painted by obviously from the city, they have artists do it does seem like there's an artistry respect from other artists that are all right, maybe I won't tag on this.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of houseless people that came around and actually stayed with me the entire time while I was painting the bench and stayed there and watched me. And
awesome.
I was like, I'm so glad I could provide something for you to do today. Thank you for watching over me while I was painting. It's a great way to talk to other people.
It is time for the calls. If anybody's, well, obviously people are listening to, they could call on, what number could they call, Eric? They could call at 909-383 100. That's three zeros at the end. And you guys could call right there. Ashley could also tell you guys, but they could call.
Yeah, you can also call 909-383-8000 or even 909-383-900.
And you guys can ask all the questions you want. Well, the line is open. Meanwhile, I'm going to be asking her a little bit more about her. Let's see if a line comes in. Okay, so the next question will be, can you show us a little bit about your art and what it means? If you guys are watching it from, or you guys are listening, she's showing us right now her art, and if you guys watch it on the YouTube channel, or Eric will tell you.
Yeah, you guys can also watch on kcaradio.com, the live stream, or KCAA Kick, and also it'll be on YouTube, KCAA TV, shortly after this. And do you want to plug your Instagram or where they could find your art as well?
Yeah. You can find my art at Art by Ashley Wright on Instagram and TikTok. And then I also have a website, which is ashleyWrightArt.com.
Perfect.
Octavio does dances on your TikTok with your art, right? He does like little TikTok
Oh,
dances.
yeah, 100%.
So you guys want to follow that for sure.
Yeah.
Yee!
We're trying to do a little bit, make the show a little bit fun. You know what I mean? What does this art mean for those of you who are right here? What does that mean?
So this is some of my digital artwork that I brought today. And it is the depiction of the tarot card Death, which is one of my favorite cards in the entire tarot deck. Death represents transformation or rebirth. A lot of people look at that card and think, oh no, it's the worst thing ever. But an ending is just a beginning.
There you guys go. That's the first. Go ahead, Rebecca.
Hi, I was wondering what advice you had for anyone who was starting to do like local art shows, and what advice you would have for anyone that was starting.
Ooh, that's a great question. Thank you, Rebecca. I think one of the biggest things is to make sure you know who you're working with in these shows. Make sure to fully research behind these art shows that you're doing. Know what you're getting into. There's been times where I've taken an art show that I thought, oh, well, this will make me a lot of money. This is going to get me so far. It's in a good, nice neighborhood. But I didn't realize what the demographic of what my art was. Knowing who likes to purchase your art and what those age ranges are, what gender they are, what they're into is super, super important. Having a little bit of that business aspect thrown in there. And then one of my biggest things, something I had to learn this last year, is to be careful not to burn yourself out doing these art shows. I had the problem of taking every single art show I could get my hands on in this area. And that will very quickly tire you out if you're trying that hard to get out there and be put into these shows. Be very discerning on what you're choosing to do with your time and energy. And there will be bad shows. You will have shows where you probably won't make any money and you're going to feel really bad. Be prepared for criticism. Everyone thinks they're an artist, and you'd be surprised how many people will come up to you at your booth and say really mean things about your art and what you do. And it's not fun. And so be prepared to have, everything thrown at you. But don't give up. Take breaks when you need to, and stay in good communication with other artists and people that you meet in the community.
Mm-hmm.
Do we still have you online, Rebecca?
Yes.
So can you tell us where you're calling from, too? That way people will know like where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Corona.
So that was Rebecca. And then do you have any more questions for Ashley?
No, I think she answered pretty much everything I could want to know.
Perfect.
Yay.
Crown Town, baby.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
that was Eric and on the engineering right there.
I got a question. What are some of the more ugly comments that you got? That I know they stay in the back of your mind.
Oh, I've had people ask me if I'm on drugs before looking at my art. And like, I get it. It's very comfortable or colorful. It's very abstract. It can be trippy to some people. And so old men will come up and be like, hey, were you on weed or something and doing this?
Can we say we on the?
Oh, dude,
on the
yeah,
radio?
yeah. I took like a
I'm like- I'm like-
microdose right before the show.
Remember when I brought a hat and then
You had a cookies hat?
cookies hat? They're not promoting us yet.
Not yet. Yeah. Burner,
no.
slide in our DMs.
Yeah.
But there was also this one instance I remember to a T that will stay with me forever. And I was doing an art show. It was in downtown Redlands. It was an art walk that we were doing. And this mother and her daughter came up to my booth, and her daughter was going nuts over my artwork. She loved it. Kids tend to really like my artwork because it's colorful and fun. And as the little girl was looking at the painting, she was like, wow, this is so pretty, Mommy. I love this. And then her mom, standing right next to her, looked down at her and said, well, I could do that. And you see the color drain out of this little girl's face. Like, how could you say that in front of your daughter? And do that? She's like appreciating something, and you're just gonna, meh, Mommy's better. I can do, and it's like, well, do it. You know, I was almost this close to like going up to her and saying something. I've gotten a little bolder nowadays. Sometimes I will be confrontational with people who say stuff because I feel like a lot of people just get away with saying things. But most of the time, it's just I get a lot of weird stares.
I would love to watch a movie with that lady, like Citizens Kane or something. She's like, I could do better.
Like, let's see you try. Let's go.
You know what, Ashley? I always admire your. It's called keeping it real. That's what it's called, keeping it real. She's not. I don't know. If we're gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. Never mind.
I don't sugarcoat things.
Yeah.
I really don't. I just want to be real and authentic with people because, like, why be anything else? I'm not gonna fake my personality for anybody.
Exactly, because that is true. And I always like when I was looking for her, like I remember when she did the mural, I was looking for her like crazy, man. I was looking for her, and I gotta give a shout outs to SB Media News. He's San Bernardino Media News. He does news out there and all that stuff. I'm the only one that knows how he looks. And he's the one that told me, hey man, this is her page right here. I'm like, oh, okay, perfect, man. Because he also posted it, the art that she did on Baseline McKinley on the bus stop. He posted it. So I'm like, oh, I wanna interview somebody that is not out there yet. You know, I want to put them out there. Like I wanna make sure people knows who they are. You know,
Give people platforms and stuff.
Exactly, yeah. Because you know, like we want to give people opportunities, and that's one of the things. That's what News That Rock. Even though it says news. We also, this is news. We're giving you news
News to me
entertainment.
for sure.
Yeah, we're giving you news entertainment right here. We're introducing you to
It's the local stuff.
Yeah, the local
MTV
stuff.
can still be music television, you know?
Right?
But they play WWE.
And
they
Jersey
play-
Shore, baby.
Yeah. Thank you, Eric. Thank you for that. Man, he brought a good point. He brought a good point right there. It is 2:33. We're gonna go on a little break right now. On a how many minutes break? Let me get 3 minutes because I'm going to go get some water. Okay, thank you.
106.5 FM and KCAA 1050 AM.
This segment sponsored by our friends at the all-new Sammy's Restaurant. Sammy's is now open in Calamasa at Exit 88 off the 10 freeway next to the Jack in the Box in the former Bob's Big Boy Restaurant. Not to name drop, but Sammy's in the former Bob's is a lot like Norm's. It has an extensive menu. With multiple restaurants in Rialto and places like Upland and Rancho Cucamonga, Sammy's is a great place to dine. Their menu is very similar, with their American trio of delicious steak, shrimp, and chicken, and an expansive menu. You won't go hungry, and you won't go broke at Sammy's. You can come meet Sammy and his family. Sammy was a chief cook for Norm's for years, and it shows in his menu. Sammy's is a great place to meet the family, friends, or have a community meeting. You can ask about their private meeting room, available for parties of 15 or more on a first-come, first-served basis. Sammy's is now open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day at 540 Sandalwood Drive off of Exit 88 at the 10 freeway in Calamasa. Look for the Big Boy statue. It's still there. We thank Sammy for returning to this station as a loyal sponsor. You can find more info about Sammy's at sammyscafe.net. That's sammyscafe.net. Sammys.net, where you can also find discount coupons to save money. And by the way, Sammy's has free Wi-Fi too. Sammy's in Calamasa, Rialto, or one of their other locations are ready to serve you. Sammy's is now open in Calamasa.
Be safe, not sorry. Don't drink and drive. Our sponsor is Premium Plumbing Program of the IE. Tired of expensive home warranty prices just to be denied? Then Premium Plumbing Program is an excellent low-cost coverage alternative. Say goodbye to home warranty. Sign up today. Membership plans starting at $25 a month. Mention promo code RADIO for $10 off. Call 909-295-1763. That's 909-295-1763. Premium Plumbing Program. Say goodbye to home warranty.
And now, the voices of KCAA with an exciting announcement.
Want to hear NBC News or KCAA anywhere you go? Well, now there's an app for that.
KCAA is celebrating 25 years and our silver anniversary with a brand new app.
The new KCAA app is now available on your smart device, cell phone, in your car, or any place.
Just search KCAA on Google Play or in the Apple Store.
One touch and you can listen on your car radio, Bluetooth device, Android Auto, or Apple CarPlay.
Catch the KCAA buzz in your earbuds or on the streets, celebrating 25 years of talk, news, and excellence with our new KCAA app.
Just do it and download it.
KCAA, celebrating 25 years.
KCAA.
All right, we are back right here on News That Rocks with my special guest, Ashley Ride.
Hello.
All right, so before we get to the last few half an hour maybe around there you go, 22. I want to give a special shout out to Tasty Goody, a Chinese food located at 905 East Hospitality Lane in the city of San Bernardino. They have the best shumai right there, man. I'm telling you. I used to eat there every day, almost every day. Go give them a visit. If you're in the mood for some Chinese food, go give them a visit. And for those of you who want to sponsor with us, is $45. That's how much I charge for sponsorship, meaning advertising your business and all that, your local business and all that good stuff that everybody likes to, do out there. Anyways, let's get back to Ashley real quick. So we already told us how you started, a little bit about yourself. Other than art, you said you were a musician.
Yes.
You're into music. What kind of music do you like to? Do you sing?
I do sing, but that's like one of those little talents that I never show anybody. It's like personal for me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's not a bad thing.
We should have discussed this outside.
Okay. Am I expected to do a performance?
No, but she's here to promote her art. You know what I mean? That's what she's here for. Because I sing too. Personally, I sing too, but I don't be.
I want to hear a duet now. I'm gonna get an instrumental ready for you guys.
Let's go.
TLC like, Creep? Do we play TLC Creep? Or?
I'll be like, yeah.
Ad-lib guy, I love it.
It's the News That Rocks show. For Shissel.
Yes.
We have a little comedy that I learned from. Never mind. I'm gonna start saying names. So we already talked about this art. Mm-hmm. We're gonna talk about this beautiful art right here.
Yeah.
Or you choose what you like best?
Sure. The next piece I'm going to show off. This is another digital rendering that I did, and it features two swans with their necks intertwined. They got little X's over their eyes because they're dead. There's two teardrops falling off their beaks. There is a feather in a pool of water, and they are surrounded by, once again, those organic flower-like shapes that I love to do. A lot of people assume that this painting is about reproduction and the female anatomy, which is really, really interesting because I wasn't necessarily thinking of that when I did it. But I love when people pull certain things out of my artwork and they're like, "Oh, that's ovaries. What does this mean?" And I'm like, for you, ovaries, I guess." But it's one of my favorite pieces, and
love her, man.
it's kind of like I would say it's kind of like the rebirth and death of your own self, getting tangled up in oneself and having to die. But then you've got one piece of yourself still left, and you've got the building blocks forward. Definitely a super fun piece. It's one that includes an animal, which most of my pieces don't.
Eric, how many minutes do you say we have left?
We got 19 minutes right now.
Okay, so how about when it's like 5 minutes, we announce her social media and all that stuff?
Okay, yeah, I'll give you guys a cue for last minute plugs.
Cool, thank you. Next art, let's see.
All right.
24, that's Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, this is my one and only Kobe piece that I've ever done.
Wow.
It's a super fun piece. What you can't see unless you're watching. I have Kobe's infamous 24. Inside the 24, we've got kind of like a little bit of a basketball texture going on. And then we've got the Black Mamba intertwining throughout the entire piece.
I love it. I gotta say, I love it.
It was one that was more of an experiment for me. I kind of wanted to test out some different things and try out something new. Because as an artist, you're never satisfied. So you might as well try something new. And for me, the biggest thing behind the inspiration for it was I was really interested in what Mamba mentality meant, especially in terms like mental health and how that affected Kobe.
True. Man, if I would have went back on time, I would have told him, do not get on that helicopter. I would have told him, do not get on that helicopter. You know what I mean? He was a good, I don't know. I don't go by personal lives. I know his career was good. He was a good basketball player. And that's how I want to remember him, as the best, one of the best Lakers player.
An absolute GOAT.
He had the number 8. He had the 24 as well. And rest in peace, Kobe.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Absolute inspiration.
And let's not forget about Mamba.
Oh, the Mamba mentality.
Yeah, I was going to tell you.
No, I think it's something super important that people should definitely carry on with them, and to persevere despite all odds and despite no matter who is against you, to keep going, keep pushing forward, and focus on oneself.
And can people could purchase this art yet? Is it available for sale? Where can they go to buy it?
They can either go to my art Instagram, Art by Ashley Wright, send me a DM, or they can check out my website, which is www.ashleyWrightArt.com. That's where I list paintings and prints for sale.
Perfect. Let's see the other one now.
Yeah, so the next 4 that we have here, this is kind of a part of a series, so do you want to grab one here?
Sure. Oh, they come like together, huh?
Yeah, so each one of these was done...
Oh, like this?
Yeah, just like that. These were all done in conjunction with each other. They were the start of some of my digital work this year, as I had to pull back from working on my physical pieces because I was diagnosed with a connective tissue disorder that causes me a lot of pain to physically work on things like art or move around sometimes. So I didn't want to stop creating. I had to find a new way to create and doing something like digital art was so much fun. It allowed me to play around with things, really use just full-on creativity without having to worry about, oh my gosh, this paint costs so much, I'm going to ruin this, I'm going to mess this up, like I might have to choose food or a canvas this week, you know, silly things like that. But being able to just mess up over and over and over and over again and really create something that's so much fun to do with digital work. But these 4 pieces, there's these 2, and then this one as well. And if you're not watching, these are very abstract art pieces. They're very vibrant in color. I want you to think back to your bedroom in the late 80s, early 90s, when you had fun, funky shapes everywhere, crazy colors, intersecting lines, very much nostalgic heavy. Perfect for people who love color.
That's perfect. I would love to have I have a little studio for like a little office studio. I would love to have some of your art. So I'm looking forward to purchase the 24, man, the Kobe one, that one. Like me personally, I'm saying it personally. I know there's different opinions out there. I love this art right here. I love it because it's Kobe, of course, you know.
It's a good inspiration piece for your office, you know?
Yes, that's what it is. This has good inspirations, and to me, this is art, like unique art. It's so amazing. Like, it's amazing. It's
Thank
really
you.
amazing.
Really appreciate
Like,
it.
Me personally, I love her art. Like, it's really creative.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We got 13 minutes. For 13 minutes, real quick, you already said they can find you on social media.
Yeah.
You already said, oh yeah, I could announce what we're gonna do on our next show, on Tuesdays. Every Tuesdays at 2 p.m. you guys can hear us on the. What is it, Eric?
They can tune in live on 106.5 FM and 1050 AM, but they can also tune in on the KCAA app. The KCAA radio app is available on the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Go ahead and just type in KCAA, and you can listen in Paris, California to Paris, France. Oui, omelette du fromage.
Oh, snaps.
That's how you say cheese omelet.
I know.
I learned that from Dexter's Lab.
The Cartoon Network back then.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next show, we're going to be having Joss Sida. She is promoting her campaign. She wants to become mayor of Fontana. And she's going to be talking to us a little bit about that if you guys want to tune in. And it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be fantastic.
I'm hyped.
And I also want to thank Ashley for coming to the show. I really appreciate you, man. It was an honor.
Absolutely.
You guys saw it. We shake it right here. No, I really appreciate it that you took your time to come down here, and our.
What's going on? We got about 12 minutes.
Man, we got 12 minutes, and I'm over here trying to end the show. What was wrong with me?
Did you ever set up at the Riverwalk? The Riverside Art Walk?
Oh, yeah. Actually, last year, I haven't done it as much this year, but last year, every Thursday, I was out there live painting, which I highly recommend to anyone who is an artist out there and is maybe a little fearful and anxious about showing their work. I think live painting is a really great way to step into it. You don't have to have a full booth for live painting at the Riverside Art Walk. You just show up with your canvas or whatever you're working on, and you get people that'll come up to you, they'll ask you questions. It's a really good exposure therapy for anyone who is a little fearful, avoidant, or anxious of those things. It's definitely important to expose yourself just a little bit at a time. It will get easier.
I got trouble for doing that.
Different exposure.
What is that supposed to mean, huh?
Little was in the word too, but that's awesome. I must have seen you before because I used to go to the Art Walk every last Thursday, or was it the first Thursday? I forget.
First Thursday.
First Thursday.
Yeah.
I'd go that and then hit up Goth Night at the AV.
Hey, I was just there last Thursday.
Let's go. Any place they got Joy Division playing, I'm like, yes, sir.
I also gotta do this for Eric. He has a show tonight.
Oh, brother, man, appreciate you.
You wanna promote it? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Every Tuesday at 7 p.m., we have Palm Trees in Progress Presents, where similar show like you, we have artists come by and we just kind of shoot the shoot and just make a bunch of not relevant references to old Nickelodeon shows and Adult Swim stuff. You know what I mean? So, yeah, tune in. Don't forget to check our website, palmtreesinprogress.com, and on all streaming platforms as well. Appreciate you, dude.
There you go. We need to also give some love to these people that, if anybody has a show down here too, they can also. I'll be happy to, announce.
I want to see the Robert Porter episode here. Little collab. I love San Bernardino. News that rocks.
You think I gotta thank Robert Porter. I love San Bernardino. Catch him on Mondays at
every Monday at 7 p.m. Here on KCA Radio. I love San Bernardino.
There you go. If it wasn't for him, you guys saw me on the other show. I made it so clear. A couple of things, but you have to watch the show. I'm not going to tell you. You have to watch his show because it's on his show.
Look at that. It's like a professional teasing them. There you go.
It's on his show. It's on his show. And pretty soon I will be on Eric's show too.
Yes, sir. Waiting for you to finally. He keeps blowing me off. I've asked him a couple times.
No way.
He kicked me in the shin last time I asked him.
Oh, that's rough, dude.
My shin still hurts.
I was a peaceful man. Now they know me as a violent man. As a violent man.
Yeah, at least kicking people all over.
We're gonna call it the kick that rocks show.
I like it.
Yeah. All right, guys. 9 minutes on air. Try to be a little funny sometimes, We want to thank Darlene for listening to. She texted me. You could give us a call. Well, we have how many minutes? Can they still? You could give us a call at 909-383-1000, or you can also call us at 909-383-8000. That way you make it easier for people. The other one is how they put it, 909-383-9000. So we still have a little bit of time. You guys could call us. Darlene, if you want, you could call us those numbers that we just mentioned.
Please call us, Darlene.
That way,
I want to hear what you have to say,
you can ask her questions if you have any questions, too. I'm not going to say her last name because there's a lot of Darlenes out there.
You don't want to dox her, give her address and last four social?
Right? I'm like that.
Weird. Everyone show up at her house.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to do that. Never mind.
So for your digital artwork, do you use? Are you? Would you like to share what you use? Do you like Canva or Sketchbook Pro or whatever?
So I primarily use Procreate.
Oh yes, yeah.
That's pretty much the main one that I've been using. I do use Canva sometimes, but more for like marketing purposes and other things like that. I have seen some people do some absolutely insane things in Canva. But Procreate's been the easiest thing for me to use and learn. It's the most fun. And it feels no different than using a pencil and a paper, quite honestly.
Right.
But I mean, I started drawing at such a young age, so it was pretty transferable for me to do something like that. Sitting here right now, I was 8th grade best drawer at Moore Middle School.
What a flex, dude.
I know. And then the next year I go into music.
Let's go.
I was like, switcheroo.
Just tells you everything.
Yeah.
Since we're flexing our stuff in middle school, I got creative writing. I forgot what it was. Never mind. I can't even flex.
No.
I got a pizza. I got a free pizza for my creative writing thing. So yeah, I get it. I was killing in middle school.
Yeah, that's a pretty big award. But
peaked.
were you pictured in your middle school yearbook saying you were the best at this? Because I
think you and I both know I wasn't.
Ashley.
Yeah, bullying the engineer. That's messed up.
I know. I'm so sorry.
But yeah, that's awesome. And I know people who use Procreate with the pens and also their fingers. Do you use Apple Pen or how's that? Because I hear that's really smooth. I'm broken. I use my finger.
Sometimes you gotta use your finger for it. No, I use an Apple Pen. It's so much easier. It's so smooth. Yeah. Sorry, I got to flex that one. But I had my screen replaced on my iPad about 2 years ago, and I haven't had it properly refixed. So there's certain aspects of the screen that don't work properly.
Yeah.
So, like, you may think it's very easy to draw on this iPad, but I have the hindrance of a half-working iPad. So, you use what you got to work with it, and you can still create a masterpiece. Don't let it stop you.
Let's go.
There you go. 5 minutes. Okay, so on these 5 minutes that we have, I'm like over here saying it. They could visit your website, which is
www.ashleywrightart.com.
And they could follow you
at Art by Ashley Wright on Instagram and TikTok. I do not have Facebook. Don't look for me there. Haven't had it since 2016.
What about your MySpace? Don't forget that.
Friends list, so I'll let you know that.
Oh, you remember that?
Would start wars.
Yeah,
Why
it
am I-
did start wars.
All right, guys. So we have
About 5 minutes still.
about 5 minutes still. I'm like,
I could talk about Pokemon for the next 5 minutes
Let's
if
talk
you guys
about
want.
playing Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Remember the Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
I was not cool enough for Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but I still got some Pokemon cards.
You're cooler than us.
Well, I saved them for my kiddo, and now she's like, "What are these, Dad?"
Just
What am I supposed to do?
Yeah,
with
what do I
these?
give you paper cuts?
As long as you're not a Digimon.
Oh, I kind of liked it.
Me too, but I'm just being a little.
Yeah, man. So plug in your media thing and all where they can find you on Instagram as well, brother.
They can follow me on NTR Media News everywhere. Instagram, Facebook. Like I was saying, Facebook.
MySpace.
No, MySpace. No more MySpace. On TikTok, find me as Media Photo Boy 509. For those of you who ask what 509 means, it means my radio code that I used to use on Code 20 News. And we are done.
We got a caller online.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Oh, and they hung up on us.
no.
Siri.
I wonder who was that.
We got about 3 minutes before we get out of here.
All right, so like I was saying, you guys can follow us on TikTok, on Media Photo Boy 590, and you guys will be able to see all my live stuff that I do in there too and everything. But today's show is about Ashley, though.
Thank you. Thank you
It's
so
about
much.
Ashley
Thank
today.
you for asking me to come on, share a little bit about my art and my story. I hope that I can inspire other young artists in the area to get themselves out there, tackle some of their fears, show their art, and really make a difference within themselves and their own community. You'd be surprised by what you can do if you just put an idea into motion.
There you go. That's good motivation. All right, guys. On the next show, like I said, we're going to have Josh Sita. And don't tune in every Tuesdays at 2 p.m. right here on Eric.
NTR News. News that rocks. No. Oh, bad. Good thing you didn't say all those mean things you usually say to me. All right, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to tune in next week, you guys. Catch you guys later.
KCAA Loma Linda is sponsored by Teamsters Local 1932. Protecting the future of working families. Teamsters1932.org.
NBC News Radio, I'm Lisa Carton. Prosecutors are pushing for the death penalty for Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin.
I am filing a notice of intent to seek the death penalty.
Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray formally charged Tyler Robinson with aggravated murder today, making the 22-year-old eligible for death if found guilty. Gray said Robinson's mother said he moved to the left politically in the past year. The mother says Robinson became pro-gay and became more trans rights oriented when he started dating his roommate, a man who is transitioning into a woman. Gray said Robinson confessed to his roommate he killed Kirk because Kirk was full of hate. Gray confirmed Robinson turned himself in to police. A Senate hearing with FBI Director Kash Patel went off the rails fast. Patel and Democrats on the Senate Judiciary Committee shouted at one another over subjects that included the Charlie Kirk and Jeffrey Epstein investigations.
I'm not surprised that you continue to lie from your perch and put on a show so you can go raise money for your charade. You are a political buffoon at best.
That was just one exchange between Patel and California Senator Adam Schiff. That exchange happened after Patel and New Jersey Senator Cory Booker accused each other of tearing the country apart. Patel's handling of the Kirk investigation has faced scrutiny, with some noting the suspected killer is behind bars mainly because his father turned him in. Patel goes before the House on Wednesday. Retail sales rose more than expected in August. Here's Matt Mattinson.
Government figures show sales increased 0.6% for the month as consumers spent at a faster clip than experts predicted. Excluding autos, sales nearly doubled forecasts and came in well ahead of July's pace. Bars and restaurants led the way, with gas station receipts up 0.5% on an annual basis.
And retail sales were up 5%. You're listening to the latest on NBC News Radio.
106.5 FM and KCAA 1050 AM.
Every day, a child in poverty waits for a sponsor is another day of hopelessness. There are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Just text the word radio to 83393.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
One of the best ways to build a healthier local economy is by shopping locally. Teamster Advantage is a shop local program started by Teamster Local 1932 that has brought together hundreds of locally owned businesses to provide discounts for residents who make shopping locally their priority. Everything from restaurants like Corky's to fun times at SB Raceway and much, much more. If you're not currently a Teamster and you want access to these local business discounts, contact Jennifer at 909-889-8377, extension 224. Give her a call. That number again is 909-889-8377, extension 224.
Hi folks, it's Milan Vukovic from the Tahibo Tea Club. We just received our first shipment since the new tariffs, and because our tea is harvested deep in the Brazilian rainforest, we had to pay a 50% import tariff just to release it. Once we run out of our current inventory, prices will go up. Right now, you can still stock up at today's pre-tariff prices by calling us at 818-610-8088. 1 pound of original Pure Pau d'Arco Tahibo tea is $49.95, or take advantage of our multi-pack discounts such as buy 3 pounds, get 1 free. That's a 4-pack discount of 25% for $149.95, or buy 5 pounds, get 3 free. That's an 8-pack discount to 38% for $249.95. Stock up now. Call us at 818-610-8088 or visit TahiboTeaClub.com. That's 818-610-8088.
Rescue Residence reminds area employers that too often our veterans and their spouses have trouble finding jobs. If you're an employer, join in on supporting our transitioning military service men and women. Bring elite skills, agility, and mission dedication to your organization. Hire smart and hire vets. That's from Rescue Residents in 29 Palms, where they are on the air supporting our veterans, those currently serving, and all military families. For more information, visit rescueresidents.org.
Shaggy Too Swaggy says if you're thinking about leaving your pet in the car while shopping, even for a short time, think again. Heat stroke, dehydration, and even death occurs in only minutes. So leave your pet in a shaded, cool area with water or just leave them at home. This message is courtesy of our good friends at Shaggy Too Swaggy Pets, located at 3411 Arlington Avenue in Riverside. They are always working to keep our community moving in a positive direction. For more information, give them a call at 951-742-5674. That's 951-742-5674. That's Shaggy Too Swaggy Pets.
KCAA.
You're listening to the Taheebo Tea Club radio show, hosted by Milan Vukovic, founder of the Taheebo Tea Club.
I'd like to tell you about another cancer case about a man from Chicago. In 2009, he was diagnosed with brain cancer, specifically lymphoma of the brain. They immediately started chemo and radiation treatments, but his cancer kept getting worse. The chemo and radiation were not working for him, and they were making him sicker by the day because they're not easy treatments. By January 2010, he was literally on his deathbed. A friend of his who had heard about the tea called us and said, go ahead and send the tea to him in Chicago, even though it's probably too late for our friend, but for $34.95, it's certainly worth a try. So we went ahead, sent the tea to him in Chicago. We didn't hear from anyone until about 5 months later. This lady from Texas called to order the tea. We asked her how she heard about the tea, and she said, you know, my husband and I are originally from Chicago, and about 5 months ago when we were back visiting, our good friend Nick was dying from brain cancer. He was in such bad shape that my husband and I looked at each other and thought he was going to pass away that week, so we might as well stay in Chicago so we don't have to come back again the next week for a funeral. Well, Nick got the tea about that time and started drinking it, and he started getting a little bit stronger. My husband and I went back to Texas, and now 5 months later, Nick is visiting us. He looks better than you or I, so whatever it is that he's drinking, we want to drink too. I want to tell you that Nick at that time was 60 years old, and once he beat the cancer, he was feeling so good he got bored staying at home, so he went back to work full-time, and he's been cancer-free and in good health now for over 8 years and still continues to work full-time. I want to shift gears now and talk about diabetes. Oftentimes I get the question, how long does it take for the tea to work? If the tea is going to help, it's going to work rather quickly. In my father's case, it eradicated the tumor in exactly 2 months. In Nick's case with the brain cancer, it was about 3 to 4 months. Now, with diabetes and with all of the conditions with the tea, there's a healing process that's involved. Now, with diabetes, it's very easy to tell that the tea is working. Let's say, for example, if a diabetic is taking on average 40 units of insulin daily. They continue to take their insulin and they start drinking a tea. Since they're measuring the blood sugar on a daily basis to know whether to take 35 units or 40 units or 45 units of insulin, which makes a big difference, they'll notice typically that in 2 weeks, instead of needing 40 units of insulin, they only need 30 units of insulin. In 4 weeks, they'll notice they only need 20 units of insulin. In 6 weeks, they'll only need 10 units of insulin. And in 2 months, they won't need insulin at all. So there's a healing process involved because the tea helps the body to heal itself. And with different conditions, there's different healing times that are involved. With infections, for example, a tooth infection, you can get rid of faster than you can with penicillin. You can get rid of a tooth infection in a week. And what happens with a tooth infection is you start drinking a tea. Well, let's say you have a tooth infection and your head is throbbing like in a cartoons, like a bomb that's about to explode. You take a drink of the tea, you hold it in your mouth for 2 minutes, the pain will immediately go away. You can't even get rid of the pain that quickly with a Vicodin. Now, if you stop drinking the tea, at that point, you haven't knocked out enough bacteria, so the pain will come back in about 30 minutes. But you take another drink in about 30 minutes. If you take a drink of the tea, let's say 1 glass an hour for 4 hours, you'll completely get rid of the pain. But you haven't still knocked out all the bacteria, so if at that point you stop drinking the tea, the pain will come back in about 3 days. So you need to continuously drink the tea for 1 week in order to get rid of the pain, kind of